thinking about this situation all flipping morning.
For sure there's turkeys.
I'm a warrior of the wild. See the fire in my eyes. The ember leaves you terrified. And I'm guided by the light. Every time you knock me down, I will turn it back around. Forged by the revolution's fire.
Well, welcome back. Lucky number 7, week 7 of Mossy Oak Turkey Season 2025. We have seen some stuff and heard some stuff. You know, turkey hunting, a lot of that's about your ears. We're going to have a good tip about that this week, too. So, great content coming up. Welcome back. Be sure you share the Go app with all your buddies because all this is free. Well, that said, let's get right into Mossy Oak Turkey Season 2025, week lucky 7.
You boys look like you've slipped across the line before.
I was young, my daddy said, gotta keep one eye open in your bed. So my trigger finger, stay prepared. I've got my weapon and I got my prayers. Cause if you don't run this town, they'll walk all over you. Run out loud, gotta run on. Keep on running till the sun goes down. Run out loud, better run on. Run all day till you can't be found. Run out loud, gotta run on.
Part-timers from a hunting standpoint applies to anyone.
Whether you're a deer hunter, elk hunter, hog hunter, turkey hunter,
Nobody gets to do it full time. We would love to, but we can't.
Dang it.
Dude, Randy, that's a big buck. Did it again, you son of a gun. Look at that big pretty joker, dude.
Good morning, part-timers. It is March 22nd, and it's the C Mark hunt. You excited?
I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm very excited. I've been up since like 2 o'clock, so excited. So we're going, hopefully not going to get caught sleeping on the footage there. But it's about 38 degrees. That's a little colder than normal. We got a lot of the guides are starting to tear out, going to their positions. I'm going to Gator. I had some really good luck there last year with Mr. Bill and then with Mr. Paul Butsky. Me and my hunter Travis, we're going to go get down there and see what happens. You going to your trusty spot? Or
Going to an undisclosed location.
Oh, okay. All righty, sounds good. Well, hey, we hopefully have some good footage for y'all here in just a little while. Y'all stay tuned. We got everything? I think we do. Well, the first setup at trusty old Gator did not pan out. There wasn't any gold in the bottom of this creek, but we're packing up. We got plenty of junk. Well, we're gonna see what old trusty Barnhill has for us. We're gonna go slip in there. I hadn't been in there in a couple years. Previously, I've had some really good luck there right off the roost. Never actually did a run and gun there, so we'll see how it goes. But it's still cold. It's still probably in the low 40s right now. I know my fingers are numb, but I think those turkeys will probably get revved up here in a little bit once the good Lord turns the heater on them. And you can see it's coming up right now. So. That's the Barnhill food plot right there. They usually roost like here and here, but I think they've cut this timber now. So we'll probably just park right here at this intersection and then just ease down the road and then kind of slip in here and go in from this way and strike. We'll blow the old crow call a couple times, see if we can strike one. Got my lip hung up. We just got to Barn Hill. We're gonna sneak down this old lime rock road and get kind of close to where we can sneak in and see if we can hear a gobbler. There's been a good bit of gobblers killed now, so hopefully they're getting fired up. You think somebody lost a chainsaw or something? I don't know if that's not a chainsaw. Piston, isn't it? Something like that, yeah. I got a guy that can fix that. I ain't get that running. Mr. Bill said there's 2 gobblers with 2 hens in a horse pasture west of Catch Pen. Let's go. We'll go grab a bite and go regroup on something.
Boosted very far from where I cleared a pipe.
All right, we just filled our bellies up with some mighty fine breakfast. And look who I got. Boom, Randall. We got Randall driving us around. We were right mid-breakfast. I was like mid-bite, and Randy shows me a trail cam picture. Son, you gotta turn the heater off. Oh, shows me a trail cam picture of a gobbler gobbling in the camera right at the food plot where we were just at. So
14-inch beard?
Yeah, like 14-inch beard, 3-inch spurs, just a war pony. And we got Travis back there, probably car sick with all this crazy driving going on. But we're en route. We're gonna try to get after that bird that we saw. Just see what happens. Y'all stay tuned. All right, we just got to the spot where we were at this morning. There was a gobbler on the food plot that walked by just a few minutes ago. Randy just glassed down one straight away and didn't see him, so we're gonna hopefully cut the distance a couple 100 yards and get around the curve and see if we can't call him to us. I thought I was a fast walker. Travis over there, that joker's 6'5", like a 6 foot stride. All right, it's 11:21. We just got set up. I got Randy sitting here with me. We're in the shade. Got Travis right there. The decoy is set up right down the road. He's down the road that way, probably 200 yards or so. We don't know if he was, coming this way or going that way, but we kind of think he was coming this way. So, well, spot number, whatever this was, didn't work. We got set up, and I got to looking on Onyx, and I did a line distance down the road, and we were like almost 800 yards from where the camera is. So we're gonna try to cut some distance on him and see if we can shock him. Shock gobble. I just struck one right here. He's coming, son. What? He's coming. He's coming. You see him? Barely. Just be still, he's coming. Gotcha. guys, it is after 1 o'clock now. We didn't bag that gobbler, but we dang sure was close. It was one split second there. Travis was like, I can kill him, but the jakes were coming down the road, and I figured that he was gonna just push them right to us. So I was like, hold on, and they got to fighting, and oh, that was crazy. I don't know what it is about these jakes at this food plot. Last year I had 4 jakes come in there and just whoop up on the gobblers and run them off, but 3-time world champion Paul Butsky called them back, and I have never won a world championship, and I couldn't call them back. But he tried a couple times, but the jakes were just hanging off in the loafing in the swamp there, and every time we thought he would be coming, they'd gobble, and he would kind of cower down to them. So he ended up running around the curve, getting the heck away from here. Well, we're gonna go back and regroup and try a couple more places. Did you hear that? That's a turkey, wasn't it? He's not in the road. Okay, so there's a T that goes that way?
It tees into the swamp.
Okay.
Kind of hooks around that way.
Probably run down that T, so it's probably a nice opening down in that hammock somewhere.
Yeah, okay.
I bet we can, well, maybe we can slip down there and see if we can go down to the T.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it. Ready? All of a sudden, I'm not really hungry anymore. You see that? I dropped my battery right there. Can one of you young guys pick that battery up? I think I'd drop everything if I bent down. Now I did. I just don't remember if it's dead or alive. But there's a little stub road that cuts right into where that turkey gobbled. Huh? Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's cool as crap.
That's a rack buck here in Florida.
Dang right. I'm surprised I didn't impale myself when I was laying
You
down.
were laying right here.
Dang, maybe that's what poked me. Good luck right there, boy.
I think it may have a dangler. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a gobbler, dude.
Oh shit. Well, that's definitely not the one.
They down all the way at the very end on the left.
Shoot, I knew we should have been on that side in the shade.
Maybe our chance to slip across the road.
Yeah, if he's not there, let's dip across. Let's do the 5 Ds. Duck, dip, dodge, dive, and we were on our way to try to get on the turkey that we heard gobble, and we looked up in the road, and there was a gobbler coming down the road, and he's kind of just feeding, milling his way down the road towards us. So he went off the road, so I dipped across, tried to look like a boar hog crossing the road. So I got over here in the shade, and as soon as I did, they're like, he's back on the road, and he's closer. So they're both hung up over there somewhere on the other side of the road in the sun. At least I'm in the shade, but I don't have a turkey chair or anything, so I'm kind of on my knees in the wet mud. Are you gonna put a decoy out? Are you gonna try to stick a decoy out right there? I would. I would stick like a hen or something right there. We sat here for about 30-45 minutes. We had a gobbler come out in the road and turned and went the other way with some hens, but there's still a gobbler across this road over there, and he's fired up, but he won't move. He's in a little strut zone, so we're gonna pick up. We're gonna come across the road, get in the shade right here, get down the road closer to the intersection where he's at, and try to just kind of run and gun and be aggressive and maybe make him think that we're coming to him. So I guarantee you he's in a hog rooting flat, just strutting around that pink root.
That's all that road is. It's just like a
Hog rooting? Oh, shoot, yeah. That's what it's at. this way, I think. Just sit still. I see him. He's coming. Get ready. Whenever you can kill him. Hold on. Got him, son.
Let's go.
Oh, I love the smell of gunpowder.
Dude.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
dog,
stud,
that's a fat
boys.
turkey, dude. Shit.
Dude, I could hear him spitting so loud in that microphone.
Dude, that's what I told him. I was like, I can hear him spit, and I just couldn't see him.
Dude, good job, buddy. I
was
thought
a
he was
freak.
coming in here.
That's
I'm
what I was
like,
afraid
oh,
of when you said
heck.
that. Because that's where that hen went. She disappeared, didn't she?
Yeah, she went in there.
I wonder if that decoy down there is the only thing that kept him in the road.
100%. When
Yeah.
he saw it, he just, and he started coming right there. That like worked out I'm so glad we left it. That's pretty cool, huh?
That's a fat turkey, man.
What is it? It's 3:56 now, so yeah, it was probably about, what, 3:45 when you pulled the trigger?
Something like that, yeah. To be fired up. I've killed one or two that late in the day, but I've never had one that fired up late in the day.
I love it, dude. I love a good roost hunt. A mid-afternoon hunt, to me, is like my favorite of all time. This was I guess technically our 5th setup.
Yeah.
We were fixing to go get a cheeseburger, and we were like, let's check this one road. So we checked it, and it was a hen down the road. So we got in position a couple times, and some birds were gobbling, and this joker was just hammering, but he stayed locked up just in one little spot, and I would assume it was in a hog rooting flat where the pink root was coming up fresh, and I was like, we got to move up a little closer to him and bust his bubble, and sure enough, we moved up 100 yards, maybe 85, 100 yards. Luckily, a hen came out in the road. Well, we had to just kind of sit where we could sit, and I was right in the sun. It wasn't long. I hit him with the double-sided head buster on the slate side, and he loved it. And he came right on out to the road, and he got behind some bushes on us, and I couldn't see him. I could just hear him spitting in the microphone, and it wasn't long, man. He come on right out in the road, and
yeah, he spat a few times, and I could see just through, it would have been that patch of palmettos right there, I could just catch glimpses of that fan through there. I was like, I know he's close. I was like, I can hear him and I can see glimpses. I just couldn't see him.
Did he ever flare up like right before you shot, or he was just coming out of strut?
Yeah.
Oh, he did flare up?
Yeah, he flared up real good right before I shot, and then I waited till he kind of tucked back down and he threw his head up, because I didn't want to blow through his fan and whatnot. So I was hoping, I was like, at some point he's going to see something that he doesn't like. I was like, we weren't hitting that dang well. At some point he's going to really throw that head up, and if it got to that, that's when it was going to happen.
I was worried about that lens I rented, which I mean, looking at this angle, you know, you can't really see anything but the little white gray mouse on top.
Yeah, that's it.
A little microphone there. Well, heck, man, Randall, we did it again, buddy. Things seem to fall on the ground when me and you get together, huh?
Try to make it.
Good shot, bud. I'm glad to finally get to hunt with you, and
yeah, man. And it's been a long time coming.
Pretty cool turkey, man, on a cool hunt. You know, we didn't. We talked a couple weeks ago, and we were kind of like, yeah, we don't really want like a right off the roost, kind of like the run and gun. I was like, yeah, I know, I'd like to. I hadn't got to do this type of running and gunning in a long time, actually. Been super lucky and had a ton of roost hunts in the last few years, so I'm definitely not complaining about that. But it felt good to get back to the old hunting club roots and, you know, chase after them a little bit.
Spot hopping to make something happen.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's go. Let's take some pictures of this thing and go get something to eat. I'm ready to find a shade tree.
Hollywood Bob Dixon. He was a pioneer in so many ways for us and with us. Vests were a big part of that, and he was really a pioneer in the use of a vest. Even I always used a coat. I never heard of such a vest in the day.
Doxy Hayes, Bob Dixon from Mossy Oak, glad y'all could be with us.
Glad to be here.
And we're walking once again our great bow shooter.
Well, it finally happened this year.
Yeah.
They figured out I could run the camera.
Yeah.
I avoided it all these years.
And you really ran into a lot, Dixon.
I did.
We appreciate your
I
contribution.
can't even stand up straight without it.
It became a life of its own, especially the legend of owning a Dixon vest has come to fruition with a limited amount, which they did in order to honor him and the origins of the company. They made 1,986 of them and numbered them. So for me, it's just to stand back from a distance and see him get that buzzword associated with elite, nostalgic piece of turkey gear and have his name on it. Makes me feel good. And his son and his family, get to see that today.
About to kill him.
So opening day on the island, still a couple of weeks away. I text Brooks to see if he wanted to try to get on some before then. Turns out he couldn't. So me and Eddie come down to Alabama for a couple of days to start it off down here. All right, we going over here. I got a few birds roosted in a hardwood bowl. We got a pretty decent walk ahead of us, but should be pretty tight. They're walking the roads heavy. A lot of strut marks in the road. So we're gonna get up here and listen to start off and see if we can't get on a hot one. I think there's gonna be one roosted here, possibly one over there. This morning, it's a new place I've been hunting. I knew there was a lot of birds in the area, a lot of foot traffic up and down the roads. Right off the start, heard several birds. We really didn't know which direction to go. We'd get on one bird, another bird would start gobbling hot. We'd pick up and move to try to get on it. It would shut up, then the other bird would start gobbling. It was just kind of one of those back and forth. We were basically chasing our tail is what it felt like. We got turkeys gobbling everywhere right now. We got one down on a low spot. We went down the road, sat up on a bird that had hens for a second, called to him a little bit, didn't do anything. This bird fired back up when we initially started on. Let's see if we can't get a pinpoint, get a pin on him before we get up here and muck things up. From about fly down to 8 o'clock, I mean, it seemed like we moved on 5 or 6 different gobbling birds and never really could get them to close the distance. And there's strut marks. If you go down that little cut through road, there's strut marks at the end of it. There's just so many turkey up here that I'm really nervous about walking around. I'm wondering if these turkeys are in the row that we just heard. There's 2 or 3 of them gobbling together. There's a big hardwood bottom right here, so I don't know if they're gonna stay on it and come up and strut or if they're just gonna follow the road. So we had a really good setup. We had 2 or 3 birds, what it sounded like gobbling pretty good, looking down the road, and never could really get them to close the distance on us. and sat there 30, 45 minutes just trying to give them time to work to us, and they never did. They just kind of moved off. So picked up, I made a call real quick, just down off into a bottom, and a bird hammered off the back of a green field down there. Picked everything up, took off running. Walking up the road, me and Eddie trying to figure out what we're going to do. And, you know, this field, there's been some insecticide, something sprayed on it, but the field's burned up. And as we're trying to, you know, going through the scenario, what we're wanting to do, about the same time, me and Eddie see a head pop up periscoping the field at us, and we both seen it hit the deck. Same time, fell back off, got set up. I called to him just to try to ease his nerves, and he cut me off, and here they come. Starting it off in Alabama, it doesn't get any better than the hunt that we had. I mean, tons of gobbling. I mean, no lack of birds down here, that's for sure. You really can't ask for anything more. We're gonna give it one more shot in the morning. I got another piece that I found a lot of good sign in. Really haven't went up there and listened, but I know there's a bunch of birds in there, so we're gonna give it a shot.
So, update. Hadn't heard much gobbling today. We've been walking around. We got some birds on the property line right across the creek. Me and Eddie's fixing to pick up and move and see if we can't call them down to the creek. Do something with them there. We got a couple of good turkeys gobbling across the property line over there. Got a big creek bottom right here. I don't think those turkeys are going to cross it, but who knows in an hour where they're going to be at. We just had one gobble on his own back to our west. big pipeline that runs right here, so sit here for a second, call to him, just see what he does, see if we can set up on him.
Which one you gonna shoot?
When you're hot, baby. We got us a dandy here, son. You know, fly down to 8 o'clock. We made a big loop. We were stopping and trolling a little bit, just seeing if we couldn't strike anything up. Couldn't get anything to answer, but we had, you know, 2 or 3 birds that were gobbling 200-300 yards off the boundary into the neighbor's property, and really couldn't make a move on them. So we just kind of decided we were going to wait them out and just see what happened if they broke. Called to them a little bit, and luckily enough, they broke off the neighbors, and here they come. There's a big cutover back here behind us, and about 6:30 this morning, old buddy over here, a neighbor, starts blowing a crow call, and he's blowed it every 10 minutes since 6:30, and we shot him at 9:01, and the turkey actually gobbled to him at the end of the power line, and 5 seconds later we killed him. So I don't know which one I like better, shooting him in the face right here at 20 yards or knowing that that guy was over there hearing it.
I'm Jason Hart with Mossy Oak, and today we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about patterning a shotgun. Patterning a shotgun before your turkey hunt is extremely important. And what I mean by patterning is knowing where these shots are placed and knowing how many pellets you're getting in a certain area at a certain distance. So every shotgun shoots different. What I like to do when I pattern a shotgun is 40 yards is where I pattern my gun. In many cases, these turkey loads are very heavy recoil, so I'll use a lead sled, I'll use sandbags to knock the recoil. I will shoot a big piece of paper with a little dot in the middle at 40 yards. And what I do is I take a 10-inch circle, because I like to count the number of pellets in that 10-inch circle. And I know that if I have over 100 pellets in a 10-inch circle, at whatever distance I am, I know that's going to be my most effective range. Some of the other things when it comes to patterning a turkey shotgun, what effective range you can shoot a turkey, number one, but number two, you also want to look at your point of aim versus your point of impact. Not every shotgun shoots where you point it, meaning it's not, some of them are not exact. Some of them hit high, some of them hit low, some of them hit left, and some of them hit right, depending on the load that you're shooting. So I always pattern a shotgun to make sure that my point of aim, where I'm aiming at, and my point of impact are the same. If they're not, you can utilize a red dot or some type of optic system to basically get it exactly where you want to hit it.
For me, I hunt with a lot of older shotguns, 30-year-old shotguns, and some newer ones, and so they all shoot differently. Whatever you're aiming at the turkey with, whether it's a bead or a red dot, being the closest to the center of your pattern as possible. Some of my older shotguns, shooting on the bead, it's just not accurate. It shoots low and left or high and right or whatever it may be, and so I'll put a red dot on them to center in where the pattern's shooting. I may have some other gun that shoots perfect, dead straight down the bead, center of the bullseye, and I don't mess with it. I don't put a red dot on it. So I kind of approach it differently based on the gun. So I have a few turkey guns that have red dots, some that don't. But the key is, when you get a shotgun and you want to go turkey hunting with it, make sure you find the center of the pattern, whether it's the bead on your gun or a red dot or a rifle scope, whatever it may be. You just want to find the center of your pattern.
Grown up feeling like it was a privilege to get to do that, an honor to get to do that, and I felt like it was something I should do if I was able, and I decided to join the United States Army. I come from Pomona Park, Florida. I grew up, spent most of my time hunting and fishing. It was just a really big thing inside of my family. I never watched cartoons on Saturday mornings, I always watched hunting shows. I grew up on a cattle ranch, and it gave me a lot of opportunities to learn about it. I had some uncles and a lot of family friends that kind of mentored me along the way, taught me how to do the things. Seems a lot different than it is nowadays. I would just leave on my bike with a tackle box on one handle and fishing poles in the other, and head down the road to the lake and talk to neighbors, and they'd let you fish on their docks or anything like that. And just spent all my summers out there getting sunburned and catching fish. So as I was getting close to graduating high school, started kind of looking and thinking about what I was going to do with the rest of my life. I looked at a lot of the veterans in my family, especially my grandfather, who I'd always respected and looked up to, and just kind of started, I'd always grown up feeling like it was a privilege to get to do that, an honor to get to do that, and I felt like it was something I should do if I was able, and I decided to join the United States Army. It's kind of a crazy step where one day you're a kid in high school and 4 days later you're in the Army. It's a big adjustment in life, especially the first part of the Army is a really big adjustment in life. But it kind of instantly starts instilling responsibility and a lot of positive traits into you. I went through all my initial training there at Fort Benning, went to airborne school. I was in the Army for 12 years. I did 4 combat deployments between Iraq and Afghanistan. First time I went to Iraq, wasn't a terrible deployment. It was again, I was just a kid back then. It was a lot of growing up really fast, making a lot of really good friends. That's the other hard part is when you lose some of those friends on trips. And kind of things you didn't learn until later on. You know, it's how precious life is and how much, you know, every single person means. Because in the blink of an eye, they're gone. And being a leader in the Army, you're taught to be responsible for, you know, not just all the equipment, but all the people under you. And one really hard thing is when you lose people that are underneath you, that worked for you and that relied on you for everything, and just they trusted you, and there's just nothing you can do to help them. It's a hard feeling. It's a thing that sticks with you for a long time. So in my time in the Army, it definitely wasn't all bad. I mean, there was a lot of good stuff. You know, there's the friends you make, you know, getting selected for promotion, graduating Ranger School, a lot of, you know, proud moments and strong moments. There's a lot of hard ones too that you just don't. There's no training or school that gets you ready for. It's part of it. You lose friends. You lose guys that work for you, and you know, they drive responsibility into you, and you just feel like a failure. And you know, when you lose a guy that works for you, there's no excuse for it in your mind, because you're always told there's no excuse for anything. And it's a thing that's really hard to talk about. You bottle it up for a long time, and when you do that, it just cooks inside you, eats away at you, and you forget who you are. It's really hard, and you lose ways to connect with people, and you just start locking yourself away, and you just isolate yourself off in a corner. You don't want to be around people, and what you need is ways to talk and to get it out, because if you don't get it out, it's going to come out one way or another. I met Dave Hintosh when I got invited to go on a moose hunt up in Maine, and which to me was unreal. And first, just get called up to go on a moose hunt. I never thought it was something I'd ever get a chance to go after. And got up there, and it was really cool because a couple of guys I'd served in combat were there. Tom Grove was up there, John Falkenberry. It was nice to, you know, see those guys and everybody after the fact doing good. But I also got to know Dave really well, who's over the years since then has become a great friend, a good person, great guide, all around. Done a lot for me in my life. You know, since that first opportunity to go on that moose hunt, just building a relationship with Dave. I mean, like my wife got pregnant, Dave is one of the guys I told. You know, it's not just some guy that, you know, you go hunting with. It's like I say, it's relationships and friendships that mean something to you. And I say, as everything I've been doing, Veterans of the Field, fishing trips, hunting trips, bringing all these veterans from different branches, different eras, different conflict. I mean, Korea, Vietnam, GWAT, bringing all those people together. And granted, every war is different, but there's certain shared struggles throughout those. And I was really fortunate this year. Dave gave me a call, and he's like, "Hey, are you still short of Miriam's on your Grand Slam?" I was like, "Yep, for the last 15, 18 years, it's, you know, maybe one day." And he's like, what are you doing next month?" And well, nothing. And worked this out, and here I am in New Mexico. So flew in, met up with Mossy Oak guys, hopped in a rental and headed straight down to the ranch. Beautiful, beautiful place. As soon as you get in there, you start seeing animals everywhere, antelope. Get to the cabin, and it was probably 45 minutes later, we were dressed up, ready to go, and headed out to look for turkeys. I spent the first afternoon kind of doing some scouting, a lot of riding, a lot of looking, trying to get a lay of the land, trying to figure out where the birds were at. Then that evening, right about dark, we went out to a spot to try and roost some birds. One of the guys let out a coyote call, and he answered right back. And we kind of had a pretty good idea where to start the next morning.
Boom, straight up through there. on the bird a little closer than we thought. It was still dark, and he's gobbling his head off already on the tree, and we just kind of backed up a little bit and found us a good spot to set up. We had a hen fly right over top of us, a bunch of hens talking. He was gobbling his head off, and he got just on the other side of this little group of cedars. We just kind of picked this one patch, and he flew down the one next to us. And I did a little morning feed around. He gobbled a whole bunch of times, and then he started his trek for the day. So we just got to try and get ahead of him.
And that's another thing I learned about these Merriams is once they decide which way they're going to go, they're leaving and they ain't coming back. So after we got back in and had a lunch, Mr. Tom Asbo from Veterans of Field looked at the situation and from everything he knows about this land and being on it several years, figured the best thing we could do was try to get back on that same bird from the morning hunt. And we're going to try and get in there and get between him and his roost and just see what we can get on.
Well, it's the end of the first day. We started out not far from here. This is probably a pretty hot roosting area. Got set up. We're pretty ready to get after it. We're hoping we can catch them, or at least hear where they roost tonight, and have a good setup for in the morning if this doesn't work out. So, wish us luck.
So once we got into where we had set up on that bird that morning, we kind of looked at that line of brush that was in our way that morning, and we made sure we set up on the other side of it. And it was just a perfect, beautiful little meadow. I mean, we had a good plan in place. We looked at this the best way to do it. And we got set down, got settled, got the decoy out. And right about 6 o'clock, a little after, thought I heard a gobble. Wasn't real sure. A couple minutes later, sounded off again. And now he's coming in, and he's coming fast from directly behind us. It was just the way the light was coming in, just that fan comes rolling in. This bird was at a strut from the first time I saw him all the way through. And he's sitting there and just strutting and drumming back and forth. It was gorgeous. I mean, the sun was setting off that way, and it was just coming in behind him. It's just those moments where it's just, it just looks so incredible just to watch him and hear him and see him interacting with him. And so he puts on a show anyway for a while. Seemed like it was 25, 30 minutes, but it was probably about a minute. And he finally, turned and just kept back and forth, and finally made his way in, and I was able to close it on my grand slam.
Oh.
Oh man, oh man. Just being able to enjoy it and watch them, and I mean, they're gorgeous animals. Just being able to watch them out there strutting around, the sun hitting them, how pretty and iridescent and reflective they are. And it's just always been a spot where I came back to, whether it's early on, midlife, now, it's a spot where no matter how, if I was having tough times, I could always go and it was just peaceful. This means a lot to me. It's I don't think Veterans of Field and we're getting me out here to New Mexico for this. For me, this is my grand slam. I've been waiting to get a Merriam's for years now, and this finally let me do it, let me complete it. And this Veterans of Field for getting me out here in Mossy Oak, and just all the help and the patience and the hours put in. It definitely was not a quick or an easy hunt. Started yesterday afternoon, and here we are this afternoon, but that seems like 24 hours, but there's a lot of miles that go into that, and a lot of time and a lot of work. And I'm just thankful for the people that were grateful for the people that put me in this position. Just any troubles, any worries, you just gotta kind of let them fade away and just enjoy where you're at in that moment. being in the woods, being on the water, just outdoors, enjoying it's always been a place that I come back to.
To Sergeant First Class Matthew Davis, thank you for your service. Everyone at Mossy Oak is honored to know you.
This week we're still in deep South Texas. Seth and Adam are up to bat. They both got Browning shotguns. Let's see if they can't pull off a double.
Turkey Hunter is brought to you by Browning, the best there is.
Well, if you saw last week's episode, Lamar and myself had an awesome double go down. Seth and Adam went to a different spot. Let's see how they did.
All right, so we're getting out of the truck, fixing to hop in here and crawl up under one of these mesquites and see if we can't get one of these birds stacked right. We've got a little bit of rain back off in the distance as normal for the past couple of days. We can't seem to get away from the rain, but we're gonna give it a shot here. Hopefully we can get a bird or two down before the rain starts. And this ought to be a fun hunt. These birds have been watched for a little bit and kind of know what they're doing, so we ought to be in the right place to get an opportunity.
Well, Seth and Adam go to a spot where Jackie's been seeing a lot of birds. They hoot right at daylight, no response, so they just find a good spot to set up, good open area, get the decoys out, and wait on it to break day. Well, after it breaks day, 0 gobbles on the limb. But mid-morning may tell a different story.
Turkey Hunter is also brought to you by Pure Strutter, the turkey hunting company, Indian Creek Shooting Systems, Foxtrot Ammunition, Vortex Optics, and Worldwide Pursuit, making your dream hunts a reality.
Well, mid-morning rolls around, and they just keep calling. And finally, they get some hens fired up, and they go back and forth with them, and then a gobbler gets fired up in behind them. And it doesn't take long, and he starts closing the distance.
buddy, what just happened? Yeah, we were sitting here about bored to death. Had a couple of hens come in. We called them in. They got fired up. We started working with the hens and playing with them. Next thing you know, 2 birds gobbling, closing the distance pretty quick. So we got a couple dead out here. That's what we got.
Man, that was like old times right there, wasn't it? Oh Lord. It's a good 3-year-old right here. What you got?
Yeah, probably 2-year-old.
What a morning in South Texas, guys. We're down here at the Novias Ranch. Our good buddy Jackie Scoggins invited us to come down and hunt this year. He told us he had a number of roost spots with some birds. They haven't really been hunted before, and that we could come down and film some TV shows. So joined up with Lamar and Russell and my old high school buddy Adam Lauderdale. We said, let's go do it. So Jackie told us this was a spot he's seen a lot of big gobblers in the past, and we snuck in here real quiet and got set up and did not hear a peep. We were scratching our head. I may have said a couple of bad words, but we had no idea what was about to transpire in the next hour. So we sat here quiet, chit-chatted, and Adam's running a box call every once in a while and look up, and here comes 3 hens, and they are coming straight to us, and come to the decoys, circled it, and then one eased off, but the other 2 kind of stood over here in the brush, and we got them fired up, going back and forth, talking back and forth, just trying to match every note that they made, match it, word for word, right? And it wasn't long, and
Heard that faint gobble.
yeah,
And it's closer and closer.
Well, how far do you think they were? 3?
I don't know. They were probably 300 yards, 400 yards.
300 yards in there.
They moved quick once they heard the call. They came pretty quick, so closed the deal fast. Weren't super aggressive when they came in, but it's all right.
Yeah,
they're walking out on our back. So.
I looked up, and they were coming across the fence there, came underneath it. I saw some movement over there. I guess they were walking up and down the fence trying to figure out where to go cross it. And when I saw those red heads pop up, I said, uh-oh, here we go. And they made their way straight over these decoys, pecked it for a couple times. And we decided we were gonna do the old 1, 2, 3. And we got us a South Texas double. I absolutely love it down here. It's one of my favorite places on the planet. I've been hunting the Novias for, gosh, upwards of 20 years now. It's like second home to me. Love it. And just not big whitetails, it's big pretty Rios. But got to do it with my old high school buddy.
Yes, sir. George, thank you.
Thanks for having me, man.
So it's our last morning here in Missouri. We've got this bird, he's gobbling really good off the roost, and he's roosted down off this ridge top. So we kind of made a loop around, and we get within maybe 100 yards of him, and we get set up and waiting for him to fly down, and we're softly calling to him, and he's responding very well. He's gobbling really good.
We should be able to see him fly down if he. Yeah, I might hear in a little bit. It probably is that exact same one from the other day that gobbled his brains out.
Next thing you know, we hear a buggy coming down the road up above us, and we're like, oh shoot, man, hope this guy doesn't stop and hear this turkey. And sure enough, we hear that buggy shut down, and next thing you know, hear some guy squawking on a friction call, and it was less than a minute later that gobbler flew down. When he flew down, he went way down to the bottom. And when he got down there, as he was gobbling and still answering or calling, there was another couple gobblers across this big hollow. They started responding to him, and the next thing you know, you could hear them kind of, coming together. So we're trying to get as close as we can and maybe intercept them and get in between them. And they end up getting together before we can do that. So after numerous more setups, the gobbler started working back up to the top of the ridge where we initially started from. So we made a loop up and around, and we got up to where it leveled off. And as we're kind of standing around there, one of the turkeys gobbled, and it was like he was working his way back. So
Sounds like they're moving a little bit. Sounds like they're moving a little bit. I mean, so to our left, there's a big deadfall, and I can just start to make pieces of this gobbler working his way to us. The one tricky thing with where I was set up, I had a sapling right in front of me, and as that gobbler started to move to our right, I actually had to bring
the gun back up underneath my shoulder to clear that sapling, and as he made it to the right, I was able to get the gun on him and stop him in an opening and make the shot.
Still see him, JR. What's that? Right here. Yeah. Whew. Whew. Thank you, buddy. What a hunt. What a hunt. Thank you, man. That was awesome. That was awesome. Did you see me get handcuffed there at the end?
Did you hear me at the first? I said, I don't know if you heard me. I said, Josh, I think he's going to come right in that tree's away.
Oh no, I didn't hear you say that, but no, but I could have shot him right up there.
Yeah.
But then he broke. But no doubt. No doubt. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Oh.
Walk back to the bucket for that.
Oh, stop. Hold that camera up. No, we've been after him. This is day 3. We got on one first thing Monday morning. And then yesterday, boy, we chased him around all day. Then today, we kind of been with this rascal since daylight. He locked up on the limb he started gobbling at 10 till 6, and he didn't fly down till after 7. And then he come down out this ridge, and there was another turkey gobbling way down across the bottom, and they kind of joined up over here. JR kind of led us around. We got up into where they were at, and we got up here, and he was kind of working around the ridge. We got up in here, and JR called to him a little bit, and worked him right on down in here. Man, that was sweet. It's one of my favorite places to turkey hunt down here in the Ozark Mountains. No, I was looking at the onyx. We just came down here and made a big circle.
You know, this is one of my favorite trips of the year, coming out to Missouri and hunting with my good buddy JR. We always get on a lot of turkeys. We have a lot of fun, and looking forward to do it again next year.
laugh out loud, but I'm gonna tell you something that'll help you from an older guy. Go get your ears cleaned out. You may shake your head and go, what? That can help you more than you can believe. And look, you can go to the urgent care and get your ears cleaned out. And don't be shocked with what comes out of there. I've been there and done that. I have hearing issues, you know, I use them tetras, but every 2 years, every 3 years, if you just go to the urgent care and say, I need to get my ears cleaned out, it will be amazing how much better you can hear. Now, trust me, take care of them, that's the best part. When I started losing a little bit of my hearing, it was very depressing. So I go to the urgent care, get him cleaned out, pop them tetras in and out. Can I hear as good as a 10-year-old? Nope, but it keeps me in the game. Go get your ears cleaned out. All right, let's finish up.
It was a blind roost hunt this morning, coming straight down to Winchester Barrel. You're not going to want to miss it.
Wade laying in a dirt field, bring your earplugs because it's going to get loud on this one. Coming at you on Turkey Season 24.
Come on, coon dog. Let's go turkey. 440, right on time.
Hopefully we picked the right spot. This has always been a traditional good spot, this little alfalfa field, so hopefully they come back and use it this year. Well, they're starting to talk a little bit this morning. We're sitting here trying to decipher. That sounds like a couple of jigs right there, but there's for sure one longbird with them. It might already be in the field. Dog gets to choose. Oh yeah, jig or dog. I'm just glad I'm not laying on my belly. Give it an hour. B-team, baby. B-team, baby. B-team, baby. B-team, baby. Woo, woo. We're getting our varsity letter. Bam. That was awesome. That was an awesome roost hunt, baby. He literally just popped up over the hill right there. We could hear him gobbling all morning. Oh, my God. Drama. Perry's like, how come we can't see him? Because I mean, I could hear him drumming, spitting a drum. He was right there.
I can see the edge of the timber. We just couldn't see him.
He was just like right there.
He was right on that grass edge.
Yeah. All right.
That was awesome. Good job.
What a hunt. Thanks, guys.
Congrats, buddy.
That's fun. The old arsenal, baby. The old pile, baby pile. Got another one.
Fun stuff.
Fun stuff right there.
Let's go get him.
Let's go get him. It's pretty to get right there.
Beautiful dog. Congratulations, dog.
Good job. Whew. Bam. What about it, man?
Congrats, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
Congrats. You got that Iowa tag?
Got that Iowa tag. Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. Wow, look at that thing.
Must be broke off. Yeah, he broke the other one off. That's what happened.
Yeah, he did. Okay.
Well,
That's a big turkey. Nice work, dog.
thanks, guys. I mean, both my birds, you guys have been with me, B-Team, man. You guys take care of me, I tell you that much.
That was fun.
I mean, Perry packs the blind and cheers like a mule and takes care of the old dog.
I told you if you'd have strapped yourself to the blind this morning, I'd have carried you too.
I know. Oh, man.
All right, well, we killed dog's turkey this morning, and on the same farm, one of the landowners that lets us trap, we trapped here during the tournament, Wade and I did, and we also can turkey hunt here. So we went and thanked him. We're gonna hoot real quick. Wade's gonna hoot, see if we hear different turkeys on the south part of this farm. Maybe deep down in the bottom. Maybe we'll go up this ridge and see if we can get a little closer to that lip, see if we can hear it better. It's hard to hear. That's the one I've been hearing. But there's like an interior field down there.
Interior field would be this one over here. That's that way. That's true. Yeah, we're looking.
Turkeys are a lot closer than we thought they are. So we're gonna sit up in this fresh right here. Yeah. I'm gonna go slip these out there real quick. Wait, so go put the GoPros out. Wait. The turkeys just walked over the hill. Wade's laying prone in the food plot. He went to go put the GoPros out for a second angle. And the turkeys are here before we are set up. No. They went away strutting. Yeah. We'll set up and give them a second and try and hit them again. Oh my God.
got him pretty good there. I'm on the strutter. Yep.
Beating up their buddy.
That is a story that no one will believe. That is a story that no one will believe.
Unbelievable. Literally what you just said. Nobody would believe what just happened, but it happened. Where's dog at? Dude.
I don't know how that worked, but
I don't know how that worked, but it worked. We killed dog's turkey. We went, visited with the landowner, and told him thank you. You know, enjoyed a cup of coffee with him, and just thanked him enough for letting us turkey hunt. And he said, "Well, go try the other side of the farm." And boy, I'm glad we did. Wade hooted at these turkeys at the road, and we caught them. There's a big bottom down in here, and here comes dog.
How about that, dog?
Bingo, he does too. They just faded into the timber that way, and then Wade crawled to you and told you to stop calling. Well, then I just hammered right back, and they just come floating right back out, and shot them at 25, 30 yards. They were meant to die.
They were ready to die.
They were ready to die.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was cool. I was like calling him to catch and release and call back.
It was nuts.
Let's go get him, buddy.
We all love to pull one of these out, the golden ticket in Iowa. And I just punched it here this morning. Dog killed one, and
It's been a morning, man.
it's been a turkey morning.
Two quick hunts.
Yeah, quick, fast hunts that were in your face, gobbling action, strutting. I mean, what a sight.
Woo!
What a sight. Beautiful turkey.
Congratulations, buddy. 2-year-old?
Yeah.
Best kind.
The best kind.
The 6-pack.
The 6-pack of gobbling machines is what they were. Still shaking. Thanks for being here, boys.
Oh, I love it.
Fun stuff.
Don't get no better than that.
B-team, baby.
Well, dog, we started the morning out on a roost hunt for you, and what a beautiful sight that was. We went and visited with the landowner, said thank you, you know, visited with him. He's gracious enough to let us hunt, and he said go try another piece of the farm, and we did, and struck these birds from the road. And I mean, something that's never happened to me in the turkey woods of what happened today. Wade went to set out a GoPro to get a second angle of the hunt, and the turkeys were already coming over the hill. So he's laying in the middle of a dirt field. These birds are at 25 yards. The camera's 2 yards away from me. Just an unbelievable turn of events here. 4th season in Iowa. Thank you, boys.
Oh, yeah. The best part about it, they faded off and you upped them right back in.
Yep, they faded off this logging road here and got back on the call, and I mean, they came out picture perfect and gobbling up a storm. And I mean, the feeling that these turkeys give me and us, all of us, it don't compare to nothing. So
No.
Here we are.
Here we are, behind a big Iowa turkey, brother.
Thanks, Wade.
Heck yeah, congratulations, boys. Fun
Thanks.
morning.
we're not hunting, we use horses about every day. You know, not every day do we have to use a horse, but we raise some horses and always got some young horses around to ride. A lot of the miles I put on them colts is hunting sheds, and lets me do two things at one time. I can put miles on my colts and ride them, and I enjoy shed hunting, and also the shed hunting. When I pick those sheds up, it lets me know a lot of the bucks that made it through the winter and the hunting season, and what kind of prospects we're gonna have for the next year. It's something I love to do. Summertime, hunting deals slower, and you know, we're scouting, getting things ready, but we don't have any hunting seasons. Well, we rodeo quite a bit, and help with rodeos and go rope, anything we can do to have fun. You know, carrying on the hunting traditions, you know, been big in our family all the way down for 4 or 5 generations now. And, you know, my dad took me hunting and introduced it to me as a young child. You know, everybody's just always really enjoyed it. And, you know, I got to looking around thinking, and, you know, Mom's been such a supporter. You know, Dad and I would go on hunting trips when I was a child, and she'd stay here and look after things on the ranch. After I started the hunting business, she's been such an asset to it, you know, all the behind-the-scenes stuff that nobody recognizes. She's going to the grocery store, she's cooking, she's staying up late, getting things ready for the next day's meals, and doing so many things that nobody notices, and, you know, I couldn't do it without her. And, you know, I thought, you know, it's time Mom and I get a chance to go and just kind of relax and spend some time in the outdoors. And so I asked her this year, you know, if she would go hunting with me and just take a few days away, and I'd get somebody to come in and cook and do some things in there and just go do what we do for a while.
I really didn't understand this passion probably until Justin invited me to go on this hunt with him this year. Until I sat in a blind with him and watched him, I did not really know what a passion he had.
You know, Mom hadn't spent a lot of time, you know, actually in a blind, you know, hunting, but she's been around the aspect of hunting all of her life. You know, Dad hunted since the time they met and the whole time they've been married. You know, he's took me hunting ever since I was a young child. You know, she's been around when we was, you know, target practice and shooting and doing those things. We'd bring our animals in, we'd get them clean in the field, we'd bring them in, and, you know, she'd help get them ready, and she'd cooked our game for us the whole time we was growing up. So, you know, she's been around all aspects of hunting, you know, the biggest part of her life.
It just amazes me at the knowledge and the study that it has taken for him to learn this skill.
Looking at my parents, there's not a lot of opportunity to do a lot of first, you know, with them. You know, it's something you get to share with your own children.
I was just in total awe in watching him, and his passion for sharing this with other people.
Birds, they stay down that river bottom all during the day. They'll work up that draw over in the hills, and they'll get down here in these heavy trees out here by the pond. That's where they like to roost. They come in there and roost this evening like they have been every other evening. They'll just go right back down that road, down in that river bottom down there by them corrals. You know, I was about 90% sure I knew what the birds was going to do, but the evening before, just to make sure and just a little added insurance and to help our confidence, Mom and I, we went out on the hill up above the pond there where the birds roost coming off the river bottom, and the birds was coming up through there and showed her where the birds had roost, you know, and just kind of give her an idea of why we were hunting where we were hunting, you know. I wanted her to understand why we were setting up where we were, you know, what the birds was going to do, and, you know, what all went into it.
And I found that quite interesting because I didn't realize that they could use the technique of of blowing the coyote call to get the gobblers to gobble.
Down in there, did you hear that gobble?
We heard the gobble, and he said, "That's good, Mom." Says that means they're there.
You know, with that extra added insurance, we went ahead and set up in the blind down there that we initially intended to do the beginning morning.
It's kind of windy, pretty overcast, but hopefully that storm won't blow over here. And birds are roosted back up behind us, you know, up there by the pond, up that canyon. They'll fly down, they're probably on the ground already. Take them a little while to get down here.
So we were in the blind, and we were sitting there waiting. And as I sat there, it was so special because the river bottom was one of my favorite places, because that's where we've had so many family picnics. The kids loved to go down there and play when they were young. Yeah, you used to hang out. You used to hang out over that big old limb hanging down over there off that cottonwood. I've got pictures of you and your sister. It's just a special place. So as I was sitting there waiting for the turkeys to come in, I just had a lot of time to reminisce, and I like that.
And here they come. They're coming out of that thicket back behind us, just like we thought they would. Here comes the hens. There's a long-beard behind them.
I told her, I said, get ready, they're coming. And the way we had the blinds set up and the decoys and everything, they were going to have to come by us, kind of over her left shoulder. Right behind them hens, there come the gobblers. And all of a sudden, the first hens that kind of come in there, they seen something they wasn't real sure about. They didn't putt or get too alarmed, but they just kind of shied away, and they took that longbeard with them.
There's another area they like to go over and strut in right there, right below that bluff.
He just turned around and left, and that was it. So they were gone. And Justin, he called and he called and he called, and they wouldn't come back in.
We sat there, longer than we normally would, thinking they'd come back in. Finally, I said, these birds have got to be back in here. Let's run back to the lodge. We'll get a quick bite to eat, come back down here and set up, and we'll wait for them, because they got to come back through here this afternoon. I looked over my shoulder, and here come two more longbeards. And boy, that looked like a sure deal. Well, they were coming right in. We sat there, longer than we normally would, thinking they'd come back in. Finally, I said, these birds have got to be back in here. Let's run back to the lodge. We'll get a quick bite to eat. And as soon as we get something in our stomachs, let's come back down here and set up, and we'll wait for them, because they got to come back through here this afternoon. We took about an hour break, got back down in there, and still it took quite a bit of patience. A couple hours later, we looked off to our right, and here come a hen. And man, we kind of got on edge then. I said, here's a hen. She kind of come in, got pretty close to our decoys, kind of milled around there and scratched and fed a little bit. She never spooked, never got alarmed. I told Mom, I said, that's a good sign. I said, these turkeys are starting to move again. I said, it shouldn't be long. And it wasn't no time after that, looked off to the left and Mom spotted a turkey. I looked over my shoulder and here come two longbeards. Boy, that looked like a sure deal. Well, they were coming right in. All of a sudden, one of those, he kind of got suspect something not right. He kind of shied away, but one of them, boy, he was blowed up in full strut and coming right in. Had her set up where she could shoot right on the Jake decoy, and I said, you know, no need to move, no need to swing. I said, he should approach that Jake decoy. When he does, I said, you can take him. He was all blowed up and strutted, and he got right to the hen decoy about 2 foot from it, and he just kind of pivoted and turned the other way. Well, it really didn't concern me any. I thought, well, he's just going to kind of strut around there and come on around, and he just kind of turned and started walking away. We never did try to swing on him because I kept thinking he was going to turn and come right back in because he didn't seem spooked. And next thing we knew, he'd walk straight away and didn't give us another opportunity.
Justin was calling and trying to get them back, and they just weren't coming back. And about that time, here came another turkey with a beard, and at first I thought it was a gobbler because it had such a long beard on it, but it was a bearded hen.
This probably had the heaviest beard of any bearded hen I'd seen. She came into the decoys, and about that time, here come some other hens. We had one hen, she was really calling and kind of yelping and purring and stuff, and she come in, got right over the hen decoy. And was sure that was going to turn the gobblers around and bring them back up there, and they just kind of strutted off at a distance.
Them birds, they just went off towards the river out in there, those trees. They like to shade up that stuff early in the afternoon when that sun gets high. Strut around through the middle of the afternoon down here.
It was warming up by then and the sun kind of beating down on us. And Justin said, now, these afternoon hunts, said you just have to kind of be patient because you just never know when something's going to come through. It was pretty exciting just sitting there and watching all the turkeys and listening to the gobbles and seeing how they reacted to the decoys, and it just wasn't my time to get a shot off. Justin said, now, these afternoon hunts, said you just have to kind of be patient because you just never know when something's going to come through.
Well, we sat here till 1 o'clock thinking this deal was going to work this morning. You know, they come in here earlier than we thought they would. We got so close. Thought that gobbler would come on around to that Jake decoy, and he didn't. And he just kind of slipped out of here on us. Kept thinking we'd work another one in this morning, and they just kind of stayed out there. Sat here till 1 o'clock. Got us a quick bite of lunch, and back in here a little after 2. And birds, they really like to shade up in these big cottonwoods. It's so windy though. They may stay back in those thickets and that heavier stuff a little longer. But they've got to come back through here. They always come back through here and go right back up that draw in the evenings to go to roost, just like they came down this morning. So let's just set up here and wait. There might be some birds here just any minute now, and it might be 2 or 3 hours. But let's just give them some time. We'll call every now and then and see what happens.
kind of lean back, just relax, and a little bit. Justin, he'd call a little, and we'd just kind of sit there and wait. And after a bit, I looked up and I said, over to my left, I said, Justin, look.
Justin, look over here to the left.
Oh, yeah?
There's someone.
That's a gobbler. He's coming right straight at us. Don't move.
Okay.
He sees the decoys. He's coming in. He's coming straight at us, so don't move your gun. Don't pick your gun up until I tell you to.
Okay.
Let him come on in. There he comes. Oh man, he's kind of nervous. Don't move. He'll get locked on that decoy. When he gets into that decoy, gets locked on him, that'll give you an opportunity to raise your gun up.
Okay.
He's going behind them trees right there. Oh, there he is. Okay, he's to the. Pick your gun up. Get on him. Take it off safety when you get it up. Get on him now. Okay, stay on him right there at that decoy. We're gonna have to wait for him to separate. Shoot the decoy. Guy's all over it.
That was really quite a show. Gobbler, he'd just jump on that jack and he'd peck it and he'd flog it, and we sat there and watched that for a while.
Oh, he's jumping all over it. Okay, is he off safety?
Whoa!
Whoa!
All right, oh, good shot.
Oh gosh, look at this.
Man, what a bird, what a hunt, Mom. Look at that. I tell you what,
Fan.
you earned him, didn't you?
I'm glad he's a nice one because we worked hard enough for him.
I tell you what, you earned him, didn't you? Look at that beard.
Yes. They say the best things in life are the hardest, and I believe it.
Boy, this is a special place right down here, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
A lot of memories right here under these big cottonwoods.
Yes.
Lots of memories. It's not the first good time we've had down here, is it?
No.
Well, are you going to carry him?
Yeah, I'll carry him a ways.
All right, I'll get you a shotgun.
All right. I'm pretty sure that Justin had swung on that limb right there where I shot that turkey.
You know, just the memories of the hunt and the place that the hunt took place was so special to both of us. Right there underneath the trees we'd played on and I grew up on all my life, and she took me down there. There we was. You know, she had harvested her first turkey with me right there in that same spot under them same cottonwoods.
What a privilege it was to be down on that river with my son as my guide to shoot my turkey in a place that has been so special to all of us for so many years. It was really a moment I will cherish for a very long time.
Mossy Oak brand camo, the world's most effective and versatile concealment system, has you covered. Only the results of exhausting research by Mossy Oak inventor Toxie Hayes.
I developed Mossy Oak really out of a love for turkey hunting. I've been turkey hunting all my life since I was probably 7 or 8 years old, and I just got real frustrated at turkeys with such a sharp eye being able to see.
His commitment to develop the best camouflage available resulted in the first pattern, which he called Bottomland. That pattern proved so successful at blending a hunter into his surroundings that it literally changed the way America hunted. It was a natural progression to add large leaves of different sizes and natural colors to create full foliage. which correctly emulates the woods in mid to late turkey season and early bow season.
Great patterns, great people, and a commitment to help hunting can only mean bigger and better things ahead for Mossy Oak.
Amazing what a turkey hunter will do, isn't it?
See him right in front of us. Right dead in front of us. In a tree? No, on the ground. Here he comes. This one here just flew down. Get ready now. Here they come. Two of them. Right out in front of us. Strutter. Here they go. There's several of them on the ground. Here they go. Is it two stratters? Yeah. Here they come. Get ready now. You see him there? Do you see him? Here they come. Watch that one right there. Watch that one. Don't move, don't move, don't move, don't move. 5 yards away, don't move.
How about that, baby? Can you get up? Yes. I'm gonna have to water. Oh, man. Here, you got him? That one, man. That one almost died. I mean, he was right here. Yeah, no. I was like, don't move, don't move, don't move. I didn't know if you see him or not. Well, I seen the fan. Man, that was quick. Quick. We've been trying to do this for all season long, and man, this morning it paid off. I mean, we hadn't been here 15 minutes and these gobblers were right in our face. This one I shot was the one that was right here 5 yards away, and he got nervous. He seen something he didn't like and putted, and then it kind of short stopped the other three. They didn't want to come to the decoy. I told Ronnie, I was like, yeah, we fixing to kill these jokers, man.
Yeah, I mean, they were still 25 yards.
Oh yeah, they were close, but man, they put on a show. They gobbled. I bet they gobbled 100 times.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't go down to the creek. We'd have busted them.
Yeah, we would have.
Yeah, but like I said, when I come in, I parked behind that tree clump up there, and every one of them were right. I mean, probably 150 yards right here between us and that. So that worked out great.
We got it done in Tennessee again.
Split the distance and busted heads. Yeah, that's awesome.
At Mossy Oak, we like to consider ourselves to be a growth company. And the best part about our kind of growth is you generally get back more than you put in. And it looks like we've got a pretty good crop.
Mossy Oak. It's not a passion, it's an obsession.
Top of the morning to you. It is the last day of April. We're down to the crumbs of April. It's May's in the crosshairs. And like so many things this spring, everything's on its head. We're not out west. Typically we're headed out west or right on deck or whatever, and I don't have any more western plans. Can't ever tell. We may throw a dart at the map, but we're still in Alabama, and we're going to be spending today in Alabama. We're going to be climbing up top, get to a high point, see if we can't find a lonely one who's up there looking for company up in this late season stuff, and try to yip at him. So we got about an hour before it's going to start breaking, so we're going to start making our little hike in. Hope y'all doing well this morning. Hope everybody's feeling good, got your coffee, and I hope everything smells better than this leafy suit. I think that's this leafy suit that smells like that. I got something that really's got a pungent odor. Pungent. Just the word pungent just lets you know that it is not good. But anyways, we're gonna get up there and yip at him this morning, and hope we find us a lonely one. Y'all come with us. I checked the weather 2 days ago. Everything looked good for the whole week. I think that's her turkey gobble. But as you can hear, it's starting to rain. So I got up here where I could get phone service on top. Checked the weather, and sure enough, like 60% chance of a thunderstorm right now for the next hour. So, not ideal. Not ideal. Heard 2 turkeys so far. That turkey's, I mean, it's literally as far as you can hear. But I've got a lot of public that way to play with. One turkey off this side, and he's way off public. But
we're in a good position to yip at him, I think. So I don't know which one I want to do. That turkey was absolutely burning it down for a short amount of time. This turkey only got like 3 times, I think. Held my post as long as I could stand it, but I don't have nothing up top up here with us. So there's a turkey way, I'm talking way down here. I've never heard a turkey. I've hunted this spot a handful of times. I've never heard a turkey, never started on a turkey down here. So he's just so far, you can't get a good direction on him. You just can't get a, you know, kind of that way. Man, it's fixing to rain bad.
I simply could not be more wet. I mean, I am absolutely drenched. I was not prepared for that. And I can't get the doggone weather to pull up to figure out. On top of the mountain, it said for at least 60 minutes. I'm trying to figure it out. I feel like when the rain stops, you can kill that turkey. But it has set in. I mean, like, I didn't even have a bag. I don't even know where my Ziploc bag for the camera went. So I had to take my wet wipes out of their bag and just put it in that bag. Even though it's a little bit moist, it wasn't as wet as what's fixing to happen. And I'm hoping that I kept enough of the rain off of it. And I have to buy the third one for the season. But then as soon as I got the bag on the camera, it went from like a steady drizzle, to like show enough raindrops. Like go through you raindrops, sideways raindrops. Like walking out, there was creeks where they wasn't creeks when I walked in. So it's less than optimal. Good morning, everybody. It's May 1st. Typically I'm at some exotic destination across the west somewhere. May 1st is always a Always a kickoff to a traveling turkey hunters month. Today, we're not at some exotic destination. We're in Georgia. It's gonna be the break day with a loaded gun in the state of Georgia for the first time of the year. Maybe our only day in Georgia all year. I don't know. That's tasty. Talking about a beautiful morning and not a peep. Unacceptable on May 1st. We're just going for beating the bush, I guess. Putting our foot in the path, as them boys say. And we're just going to start yelping. Just right after. I mean, it didn't even fly down yet. I'm already moving and yelping. Gotta find a turkey today. I believe I heard her. I'll drop off this one, catch the next region, work it up. What to tell you, other than I ain't hearing no turkey, and it should be, so we're gonna make a big move now. We done picked around over here without no luck, so we finna get to tracking. Turkey's gobbled. Big creek bottom runs down this side, and they're in the pines, but they're over on the next roll. I'm gonna try to get down toward closer to the creek bottom because it'd be awesome if they drifted down in there. Because, buddy, I just don't know how I'm gonna hide from a turkey, especially having to hide a camera and crap in this. It is wide open. Straight over from us. I don't know where I'm gonna hide from a turkey in this stuff.
gauge which way they're flanking and more or less get in their way. He's just paralleling this road. It'd be a lot easier if I wasn't wrestling this damn camera. Wouldn't help me kill this turkey, but it would be easier to move. We're open again. Got in front of them jokers. We got in front of them. Lord, what an ordeal. Finicky old turkey's not wanting to come to a call, just gobble at it. Oh. And I'll be honest, I was sitting there and it just about spaced out. Because last time they gobbled, they was done in there a piece. So I was kind of like La La Land, almost daydreaming or dozing off or something. And I just looked up and that joker was just bebopping out through there, just pecking. First thing I saw was that old swinging beard. That's one thing I wanted to confirm because these turkeys was gang gobbling and I didn't have a lot of Jake issues this year. So. Go look at a turkey.
Day one. Yo, look at that. Thank you, Lord. These turkeys have been gobbling. I don't know, I think it was 3 of them. I saw 2 of them, I'm pretty sure, take off after the shot. There's a piece of one of them right there, one of the wing feathers. One of their primaries busted out because it's not his. But I have came in here to the back of this flipping place. Didn't hear a single thing, not a single turkey off roost. Not a single turkey. Kind of combed through those hardwoods real quick. Didn't see a lot of, saw some old scratching, winter scratching, but nothing real fresh. So kind of came out, got to the road, started boogieing down the road. Struck these turkeys on the other side of the road, and it's burned. It is pines right over the ridge right here, and slipped up right over the crest of the roll of the hill. Yelped to them. They just gobbled every time I'd call. Not a whole lot of gobbling at crows and stuff at that point in time. Just every time I'd yelp, set up, got a good setup, they would not come, but would gobble. I thought, all right. So then I'm just hopscotching or leapfrogging. I'd come up to the road about here, and they'd gobble, and they'd go past me. So I'd loop up, and they'd gobble and go past me. And I finally was like, they're not coming up to this road. They're just paralleling this road. So I got up to here, which is where the ridge that they were on actually intersects with the road. So it's the same ridge. It all comes together. When I got there, I hopped over the road and got on the side that they were on. And I come down this ridge. I don't know, I'm about 15, 20 yards down it. I figured, all right, so if they come up to follow the spine of the ridge up to the road, I'll kill them. Or if they follow this side, I'll kill them. But their last gobble, I thought they were on the opposite side, and I thought I might have to watch them walk past me. But luckily, they were on my side. That is all strategy, all strategy. Yelping helped to strike them, find them, get them to gobble when I needed to keep up with them. But I did not yelp these turkeys up. I didn't no more yelp these turkeys up than I did, I don't know, whatever else I didn't do. This is the Georgia Gobblers in May. Hadn't been here in a while in May, and kind of feels good.
That's it, another wrap. Hard to believe we're already into week 7. The clock's ticking. Turkey season may be even open where you at, I hope so, but that doesn't give you a reason to not watch what's going on. Some of this stuff is incredible. Hey, look, if you look close in there too, watch some of these hunts, listen to some of these people, you'll discover a little secret sauce in there, so keep coming back. Right here, next week, we'll have week number 8 on Mossy Oak Turkey Season 2025.